What is going on, everybody? Welcome to or back to Ryder's Record Collection. My name is Carl, and in this video, it's going to be more a tips and advice video than an actual talking vinyl and showing some wax video. I wanted to do a really basic beginner level tips and advice video for someone who is just dipping their toes into vinyl. Someone who maybe just bought their first record, walked into Target, walked into a place that sells new records, thought that'd be pretty cool and picked one up, or someone who is really interested in starting to get the itch for this hobby that we all do. So again, this is going to be dipping your feet in my advice, what I would have done, what I did a little bit getting into this, pretty much all for under $200. So whether you have or are going to purchase a record, you need to have a record player, and that's pretty obvious. And for me, depending on where you are and how seriously you want to take this hobby, if you're someone who's like, wow, this is really cool, I like a lot of music, I'm probably going to end up buying a lot of records and really diving headfirst into this. There's one route that I would take versus the person that's like, oh, well, this is cool, I'm probably going to have about 10 or 15, maybe play them every once in a while, I just like the nostalgia value of it. There's another avenue that I would take, and I'll go into that avenue first. For those people who, again, who aren't sure yet if they're going to have a collection of 50, 60, 70 albums, whatever it might be, and think they're only going to have a few, 10, 15, and play them every once in a while, not make, a ritual out of it like we all do, then I would recommend an all-in-one system. There's a lot of different all-in-one systems that you can get, and the price range of them varies drastically. But I had an all-in-one system when I was in high school and I just got into records. An all-in-one system is where you just have a turntable and you plug the speakers directly into the turntable. There's not a third component receiver. There's no preamp or anything like that. It's all built into the turntable, and it's just a turntable and speakers. Sometimes they're all together, all in one case. I purchased the Victrola portable record player for my sister, who's still in college, and again, gave her that and about 3 or 4 records for Christmas. They're eventually going to pick up some more that they like, but as far as them moving around and being in college, that's perfect, and she's super satisfied with it. That'll run you about $65. Again, some people here in the VC don't like that. Some people are going to be like, that's a waste of your time and your money because the sound quality sounds good, but at the same time, if you're playing this just occasionally and you're not a super big audiophile, it's fine, and I think it's worth it. And other all-in-one systems aren't literally a turntable with speakers coming out of it. They're corded speakers, so you just plug the speakers directly into it. So when I first started out, again, I was in high school, I went to a boarding school, I had about 10 albums or so. I found this all-in-one system. It had 2 little bookshelf speakers, set it up in my dorm. I think I paid 40 or 50 bucks for it. And junior and senior year of high school, it was perfect. It conked out at the end of my senior year. I wish I kept it for nostalgia's sake, but I ended up getting rid of it. But that's a great option for the person that's not going to dive headfirst into this or is unsure. Now, the person that really, really, really is going to dive headfirst into this and really take it seriously is there's a different way that I would build the system. I would build the system with components, meaning you have speakers, you have a receiver, and you have a turntable, or something with a preamp, and that will allow you to, as you get more records and more into this, and you want to change out your speakers or buy a different receiver or upgrade your turntable, you can, and you're not stuck with an all-in-one unit. This you can do under $200. There's the Technica LP60, which I did a review on that I really like, and that retails for about 150 bucks. And again, if you're going to try and do this sub, $200, that's a turntable with a built-in preamp. You can plug it into a receiver if you want, or you can plug speakers right into it, and 150 bucks, $50 speakers, bam. Or you get a receiver and, like I said, build and upgrade. I had an Technica all through college and for a couple of years past college, and I had 2 of them. One of them, again, I still have. The second one that I got, and I made some improvements to it. I'll leave a link to that video to give you guys a full review. And again, great turntable, lasted me a long time. I now have an RT85, and that's getting on the higher end of the scale of, this is out of the $200 price range, but I've been doing this for 10 years, so I've had a lot of time to build up my system and tune it the way that I like it. And I'll leave a link to what I have in my system up here too. Again, I really did a lot of research on what I wanted, and I've got 450 albums at this point. So if you're just getting into this and just watching this, this is something that I've been doing for a while. And if you're going to be like me, I definitely recommend the system that you can build your components to. So again, that's just a little bit of advice of what I would do in certain situations as far as building a system goes. And since this is a getting your feet wet, first time ever really dabbling in records, or you're curious about it and want to get into it, I want to just kind of discuss a little bit of recordology, I guess, if you will. There are a couple different sizes of records and a couple different speeds at which they spin at. So you got 33 1/3 RPMs, which is your most common 12-inch records, the actual albums. There's 45 RPMs, which normally are your singles. Sometimes they'll press newer, longer albums on 45 RPM because the sound quality is better. There are 78s, which I have none in my collection. Those are typically older records. Those are the speeds at which they spin. There are sizes. There's 12-inch, which is, again, your typical LP. There's the 10-inch, which you see them every now and then. Record Store Day has a couple limited edition 10 inches that they do. 7-inch, which is your singles. And then there's, again, 78s, which are old shellac records. I don't have any of those in my collection. But this is, an album that you're going to get. And since you're getting into this, I want to point some things out about the actual album itself. So you want to try and hold it by the edges. You don't want to grab it like that, because that'll get fingerprints all over the record and it'll attract dust and grime and whatnot. This is a record that hasn't been cleaned yet or cataloged, so I can gum it up for you. But you want to try and hold it like this, one finger on the label, and when you put it on the turntable, put it down like that. Again, the fingers and stuff, the grime and stuff on your fingers will attract dirt and dust, and after a while it'll have a negative effect on sound quality. Another thing that I want to point out too is that all these spin at different speeds. This is a regular 12-inch that spins at 33 1/3 RPMs per minute. But if you just bought your first record, if it's a record where you like one song and you want to hear that one specific song, I'm going to try and get this to focus. Do you see the wider grooves there? How you've got all these grooves mixed in together and then a wide spot and then all these grooves mixed in a wide spot? That is the couple of seconds of silence that you get between songs. Now, that's not going to be on every album. If you're Pink Floyd or something like that, you're going to have a 30-minute song and you're not going to be able to pick it. But if you wanted to skip songs, you would look at the track listing. For example, on this one, this is side A, and I wanted to hear the fourth song, Your Summer Dream. The first one starts out here, 1, 2, 3, and at the beginning of the fourth, you drop the needle and you're on that song. So that is how to skip songs and handle your records. Another thing that I want to mention is when you do go to a record store, if you're not just buying new stuff, check the condition of it. Pull it out of the sleeve and see what it looks like. You can have a lot of these record stores now, they'll put like VG or VG plus. I would definitely familiarize yourself with what that scale means. It's a little subjective. It's different to every person. What some people would consider an okay record, I might think is a good record, and vice versa. So, but I definitely recommend checking it, because having done this and having not checked it, I got excited. I saw something in the record store, just took it home, and again, there's all big old gouge or something out of it. So what you want to try and find is, using this record again, you want it to you don't want to see a bunch of gouges and marks on it. If it's all scratched up, especially if you could see something, if you see a scratch and you could feel it with your finger, it's not going to sound good. It's going to result in a really loud tick or click every time the record plays, and the needle drags across that. So handling records, buying records, whatever you end up doing, if you're going to go to Target and you're going to buy all your records, by all means, I definitely recommend checking out an older used record store. If you're only going to go to used record stores, then good on you as well. This is a really fun hobby, and I just wanted to provide a little bit of insight, just a kind of quick tips and advice video. I know that some people out here, they're like, oh, don't get a Crosley, don't get a Victrola or anything like that. Do what makes you happy. If you're just going to casually listen to albums, just do what you can afford, do what your budget allows. And some people too here, they'll bash music and whatnot. So just listen to what you like. If you're just getting into this is a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it. I wanted to provide a little bit of insight and try and help out someone who's just learning about it. But don't let Don't let some Joe Schmo over there that's bashing on your turntable or bashing on whatever artist you just purchased get you down. A lot of fun. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to leave some links to some turntables that I recommend. I just wanted to kind of do a quick overview of anything that might be important to someone who's just buying their first, second, third, fourth record and doesn't know where to go with it. I'll have another advice video out soon. If you're watching this and you've been doing this for a while, leave a comment below. Let me know what you would recommend to someone who's just getting into this. There's so much information out there, and I just wanted to help out a little bit. So until the next time, have some fun, spin some wax. If you're just starting this out, buy a few records. Cheers.